Howdy. I'm going to be talking about fragrance bottles, what makes them good, what makes them bad, in my opinion. The most important thing that a fragrance bottle can do for you is, can you apply the fragrance? I think all fragrance bottles, no matter how big, small, whether they are a splash on or a roll on, you can apply the fragrance unless for some reason the atomizer is broken. So the first most important thing for me for a fragrance bottle is, can I smell the fragrance from the atomizer? And for me, that is, does it have a cap? Bulgari Aquamarine. Love this fragrance, but if I wanted to, go and smell this off the shelf and try and smell it from the atomizer, I can't because it doesn't have a cap. Caps would, keep the fragrance inside, prevent it from diffusing. Like, I've had fragrances I haven't sprayed for a year and I can take the cap off and smell it from the atomizer or the cap, either or, and smell it just fine. But for this one, I would have to spray the fragrance in order to smell it, and I don't want to do that unless I'm wearing it because this is a very rare fragrance now. The first time I actually got this fragrance, the bottle was leaking too, so maybe this bottle has issues with leaking as well because of the atomizer. But it was 40 milliliters and the whole package was soaked and it smelled like this, which, it smelled pretty good. Yeah, I was lucky enough to, send them an email and they sent out a new bottle, but these bottles are getting far and few between now, so I consider myself very lucky to be able to get a second bottle of this without any leaking issues. Like this fragrance, hate the bottle. Bulgari actually has the 15 milliliter sizes for the aqua fragrances. The 50 and the 100, they come in that bottle style where you have to lay it down on your shelf like this because it can't even stand up on its own. The 15 milliliters, they come with a cap, so that's pretty cool. This is Atlantique. This is probably my second. My favorite is probably Marine. Atlantique's my second, and then I'd say the worst one that I have is Amara, and I know a lot of people really like that fragrance, but I think for me it's just the ylang ylang in that fragrance that I don't like. But anyway, the bottle. 15 milliliters. It comes with a cap, so I can actually take the cap off and smell it. I haven't sprayed this in months, and I can smell it very clearly. This is probably a 4 or 5 hour fragrance for me. EDTs with a cap, you can smell for months, maybe years after you spray them. That's kind of why I like the cap. And for some reason, this bottle style, the cap here is rounded. And I for some reason, if I try and open it like this, if I put the bone of my thumb on my hand to this bottle and try and open it like this, it pinches my hand somehow and it really hurts. I don't know if this is just a me problem. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe someone else has this bottle style. They also have that issue. I'm not sure. So a step up from the aqua bottles are another infamous bottle, the Eternity bottles, for not having a cap. A lot of brands like Paco Rabanne, Jean Paul Gaultier, they don't have caps either. They're pretty infamous for that. This one, this one's okay. It stands on its own, unlike the Aqua Bulgari fragrances. I like a lot of these Eternity fragrances, and I don't mind spraying these because they're cheap and they're not discontinued. But I don't anyway, just because why bother? I don't want to have to spray it in the air or waste a paper strip. Similar to the Bulgari Aqua bottles, these have caps if they come in the 30 milliliter. The 50 milliliter do not. This is a built-in atomizer. It's smaller than the 100 milliliter atomizer, but I guess they couldn't, justify the price for making it this small, so they put a cap on it. So this is probably just a stock atomizer. They just made a cap that looks like the built-in atomizer. This is Eternity Aqua. It's not a long-lasting fragrance. It's okay. I like it, and I can smell it from the cap, which is nice. So if you want a cap for your Eternity fragrances, you have one that you want to get. I get the 30 milliliter. How often are you going to, use an Eternity fragrance anyway? 30 milliliters is probably all you need. Another issue that some fragrances have smelling from the atomizer is leather around the atomizer. So I have Trainui Lyric, which is a Profundo clone. Comes with a cap. But the issue for me for this fragrance is the leather exterior. So they wrap it with this leather. I think it's faux leather probably, but it has a smell. So when I go to smell the fragrance, I smell leather. I don't smell the actual fragrance. Or leather mixed in with the fragrance. So it's not really giving me the full effect. I like to smell my fragrances from the atomizer, and it's kind of blocking it because of that leather smell. Also, this bottle is just a chore to hold. It kind of sucks to spray on too as well. And while we are talking about caps, or lack thereof, you can have a cap and also be annoying, screw-on caps. So this is Hugo Reverse. It's a good fragrance. It's cheap. The bottle's fine. I kind of like how the Hugo is reversed, but it's got this, screw-on cap, so that's kind of annoying. You have to unscrew it, and then you can spray it. And I do like to spray the cap of the fragrance if I don't want to waste a paper strip and I just want to like test it out for the first time. Then you kind of like have to do this thing where you like kind of like hold it over there and then spray it, and you're probably getting on your hand, and it's kind of annoying. Yeah, I don't like screw-on caps. Another slightly annoying issue is if you have a fat bottle with a fat cap. This is Encre Noir à l'Extrême, and it's a big boy, and it's got this big wooden block for a cap, and if you wanted to like spray the cap, you kind of have to like put it there, and it's like maybe tilted a little bit, and it's kind of annoying. Not a huge deal probably for most people, but I don't know, these are just the things that I care about for some reason. So another issue with caps is, can you pick it up from the cap? You're not supposed to, but let's face it, we all do it. Sometimes we have to. Like sometimes, like if you have like a short shelf, if you have fragrances in front of other fragrances, you need to reach back to grab a fragrance. Then you want that cap to withstand the force of the bottle underneath it, and be able to pull it out by the cap. This is Halloween Man, and this heavy bottle with this little dinky cap. And if you try and pick it up, and then you you pick it up and then you try and tilt it because maybe the shelf is short, you need to lift it over bottles, it's just going to fall down and then things are going to collapse. You can at least pick this straight up, but once you start tilting it, it's going to fall. So don't like that in a fragrance bottle. Another issue with caps is you have to line it up to put the cap on. So this is Hunter from Ormov, and this is not the Hunter probably everyone is used to seeing. This is just the regular Hunter, and it's a clone of Lacoste White, and it's a pretty good clone. It lasts longer than Lacoste White, so I usually just wear this one. But the cap, you take the cap off, and then it's got this like little lip in it. I don't know if you can see that. And then the atomizer, at the color of the atomizer, there is this like little lip, and that's where this kind of like hole goes into. So like if I tried to put it on like this, I can't. You have to kind of like turn it until that lip kind of meets the hole. Pause, and then you can put the cap on. So annoying, but good fragrance. Ugly bottle, hate this. It's got the leather on the outside, but it's like far enough away to where you don't smell the leather more than the fragrance. Having a cap is good, but having a really nice cap is really good. And that's where magnetic caps come in. So if you have a bottle with a magnetic cap, it's always, fun. It's always cool. Take the cap off. Although sometimes you get a bottle like this where I think the magnet is like down here, and then you kind of have to like line it up, and you can't like twist it. It'll just like lift off. I don't really care about magnetic caps. It's always fun when it does. So that was caps, and there's a lot of caps. I care a lot about my caps. The second issue I have with fragrances is if you can't see the liquid. And I don't know why I care about this so much. I like to see the color. I like to see the amount, stuff like that. So it can be, like a solid opaque bottle. That's fine. Like this one. This one is a solid opaque bottle, but you still can see the liquid if you hold it like this. So like down there, you can see the liquid. It's got a little window in the bottom. Or, like Acqua di Gio, you can see the liquid in this bottle. It's kind of difficult on camera. I'm sure no one is ever going to see the liquid of Acqua di Gio Profumo bottles on camera. But if you hold up to a light, you can kind of see like the bottle is slightly transparent. That's good enough in my book. The real issue comes in with like bottles like this. This is a completely opaque bottle. You can't like hold it up to see through it. It's paint. So they painted the inside of the bottle, and it gives this like cool look. Like if you can like see the bottom there, it looks cool. I like it, but you can't see the fragrance, and I don't like that. This bottle, completely opaque, bag cap, bad bottle. So number 3 for me is having an atomizer. I don't like splashes. I don't like roll-ons. I also don't like when the atomizer is leaking, so it needs to be a good atomizer. A plus would be a pressurized atomizer. It's not necessary. It doesn't even have to be a good atomizer. It just has to have an atomizer so that you can spray it. And if it's a bad atomizer, you just have to spray a couple more times. Number 4 for me, and this is getting really nitpicky now, is the concentration and ABV on the bottle. So it seems like a lot of fragrance brands or fragrance houses will kind of push the boundaries of what an eau de parfum is. So you might get an eau de parfum that's like 85% alcohol, which in my book is not an eau de parfum. So yeah, I like to see how much alcohol is in the fragrance, because sometimes companies will, they'll give you a 12% eau de parfum, which is kind of lying in my opinion. Number 5, does the bottle look good? I have a bottle here. that I think looks pretty good. It's got, the information on the bottom. It has the concentration and everything. I don't think it has the ABV. The cap, it's fine. I don't think you're gonna like lift it. Yeah, I mean, be careful though. But like the cap is okay. I think the bottle looks really cool. You can see the liquid. This is a pretty good bottle, in my opinion. So if we're going to put all of my criteria into one bottle and get the best bottle ever, I think in my collection it would actually be this one. So this is Missoni Wave. Not an expensive or extravagant fragrance, but it has, you can see the liquid. I can smell the fragrance from the atomizer. Also, the cap is magnetic, and it has, I believe, the magnet at the center, like right here, and then on top of the atomizer. So when you put it down, you can twist it. I don't think that's a huge deal. I think for some people it might be. But the bottle feels, feels high quality. It's got the ABV on the bottom as well as the concentration. The only issue with this fragrance is I don't like it. So that's pretty much it. The bottle though, really like the bottle. I think the bottle actually itself looks ugly. I don't like this design on the cap. I don't like the bump going around the middle of the bottle. The gradient is fine. The shape, I don't like that much either. Bottle looks aren't really that important to me. I really like the functionality of it more. So I do like this bottle. I don't like the fragrance that much. I don't like the way that this fragrance looks because of the shape and everything, but that's a 10 out of 10 bottle, I guess, for me. When I become a big time perfumer, I will probably have, magnetic caps. You can see the liquid, pressurized atomizer, stuff like that. Not sure how much people are caring about their fragrance bottles. Probably not. Probably people aren't usually thinking about this stuff, but this is just what I think about for some reason. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that, or if you didn't, I'm sorry. Feel free to disagree with me. It's your opinion. Thanks for watching.